How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Lead Therapy, and thank you so very much for taking time for tuning into my video. Most of you know by now the ATF is coming after people with solvent traps and FRT triggers. And the ATF actually has a name for what they're doing, and it's called Operation Reticent Recall. One of our favorite three-letter agencies is at it again. A recent report by attorney Dylan Harris of the Prince Law Offices noted that the ATF has been sending out new letters to alleged customers who may have purchased forced reset triggers and or so-called solvent traps. It's not exactly known at this time how the ATF procured the customer information, but the agency that is so fond of murdering dogs and sending out malicious Valentine's Day greetings seems to have the firm that Harris is a member of without lack of clients. Now, we have learned the ATF is sending out warning notices to individuals that have purchased FRTs on Gunbroker from the user Fire Remedy 2000, but it's not clear how the ATF acquired purchaser records or the ATF itself is operating the account. It appears that the ATF's contact with these purchasers is part of Operation Reticent Recall. The name was learned when it was on top of an interview questionnaire that has been sent to some of their clients. The questionnaire seeks information about solvent traps, solvent trap parts and accessories, and forced reset triggers with questions like, how did you learn of/locate the seller? What was your payment method? How was your package labeled? What was the intent/purpose behind purchasing the item or items? Was the solvent trap drilled out prior to the receipt? If upon inspection the solvent trap is drilled out, ascertain by whom it was drilled and when. Did the seller indicate that approved ATF Form 1, an application to make and register a firearm, was required prior to purchasing/receiving the item, or otherwise state the receipt/possession of the item was governed by provisions of the NFA? Are you aware of other persons, or have you referred other persons who have purchased similar items from the seller? If so, please attempt to identify the additional parties. We are truly living in the golden age of the breakdown of checks and balances. The ATF has and continues to try and make up their own laws when there are clearly defined statutes that define the very things they're trying to regulate. These Gestapo-type tactics need to be brought to a halt, and quickly. I'm going to put up on the screen the redacted version of the letter that's being sent out to some of these customers. In typical ATF fashion, there's mitigated language, followed by the fire and brimstone. You may be in violation of the law. ATF has information that you have acquired one or more forced hard reset trigger, and the possession of these devices is a violation of the law due to their illegal manufacture. The letter officially notifies you that the unlawful receipt and possession of any of these devices is a felony violation under federal law, and devices that are unlawfully received or possessed are subject to seizure and forfeiture by the federal government. Continued possession of any of these devices could result in prosecution for criminal violations of federal law, as well as potential state criminal violations. Any future purchase or possession of such devices may subject you to prosecution as well. So what should you do if you receive one of these letters in the mail? Here is some advice from Mr. Harris, who is an attorney. It appears that the ATF is taking a more aggressive approach to solvent traps and FRTs. Remember, you should not speak to ATF or any other law enforcement without an attorney, and you should never consent to any searches. While this rogue agency is likely to continue to push boundaries of what the scope of their actual powers are, as well as execute these solvent entrapment operations, they're due for a solid spanking from a true and unbiased court. Unfortunately, with only the midterms approaching, all we have to rely on are prayers and Lady Justice. Let me know your thoughts about the story in the comments section below. What do you think about Operation Reticent Recall? And if you enjoyed the video, or if I gave you some information you didn't know, please take time to like, share, and subscribe, and hit those post notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video.